Tonight, before you sleep, walk to a mirror in complete darkness and stare at your own reflection. Most people can't do it for more than a few minutes, and the reason why goes back thousands of years. For almost all of human history, mirrors didn't exist. Think about that for a second. Right now, you can see your own face whenever you want. Your phone camera, a bathroom mirror, a car window. But your ancestors? Most of them died without ever seeing a clear image of themselves. For early humans, the only reflection they ever knew was water, a shaking image inside a river, distorted, broken, moving with the wind. They never saw their own face perfectly still, never looked directly into their own eyes. And maybe that matters more than we think. Because humans are strange creatures. We recognize faces faster than almost anything else on Earth. Within milliseconds, your brain can identify a human face inside clouds, inside shadows, even inside random objects. Scientists call this pareidolia. Your brain is so obsessed with faces, it creates them even when they don't exist. But thousands of years ago, humans suddenly invented mirrors. And for the first time in history, people could stare directly at themselves. That's when the fear began. What's strange is that completely different civilizations all developed almost identical fears about mirrors. Ancient Romans believed mirrors could steal energy from the soul. In parts of China, people covered mirrors at night to stop spirits from entering the home. In Japan, mirrors were considered sacred objects connected to the spirit world. And in medieval Europe, there was one terrifying tradition. When someone died inside a house, every mirror was immediately covered. Not for decoration, not for respect, but because people believed the soul could become trapped inside the reflection. Now, logically, this makes no sense. How could completely different cultures, separated by oceans, all fear the same object? There were no phones, no internet, no movies spreading ideas. Yet somehow, they all arrived at the same conclusion. Something about mirrors becomes dangerous after dark. And maybe they weren't completely wrong. You've probably experienced it yourself. Walking past a mirror at night, everything normal during the day suddenly feels uncomfortable in darkness. Even if you don't believe in ghosts, even if you know nothing is there, your brain still reacts. Your heart beats slightly faster. You avoid eye contact with your own reflection. Why? Because darkness changes the human mind. For most of history, nighttime meant danger. Predators hunted in darkness. Humans couldn't see clearly. Your ancestors survived because their brains became hyper-alert at night. Every shadow mattered. Every movement mattered. And mirrors create the perfect conditions for fear. A human face, staring back at you, inside darkness, completely still. Your brain doesn't like that combination. Not at all. In 2010, researchers in Italy performed an experiment so disturbing, some participants had to stop halfway through. It was called the strange face illusion. The setup was simple. Participants sat alone in a dark room, a mirror placed directly in front of them, one dim light, and one instruction. Stare at your own reflection for 10 minutes. That's it. No horror music, no scary sounds, nothing supernatural. But within minutes, almost every participant experienced something terrifying. Their faces began changing. Some people saw their reflection smiling unnaturally. Others saw their face melting. Some saw complete strangers staring back at them.
A few claimed they saw dead relatives standing inside the mirror. One participant became so frightened they refused to continue. Now here's the important part. Scientists don't believe mirrors are haunted. What's happening is neurological. When the brain stares at a fixed face in low light for too long, the visual system becomes unstable. Your perception starts breaking apart. The brain begins filling missing information using memory, fear, and imagination. In simple words, your brain starts hallucinating. And suddenly, ancient fears don't sound so irrational anymore. Modern humans almost never experience true darkness. Streetlights, phone screens, television. Even at midnight, our brains are flooded with artificial light. But for over 300,000 years, human beings lived in near total darkness every night. No electricity, no lamps, only fire. And beyond the fire, complete blackness. Your ancestors evolved to fear what they couldn't see. That fear kept them alive. And scientists now believe many ancient fears still exist inside the modern human brain. Not as thoughts, but as instincts. That uncomfortable feeling near mirrors at night may simply be one of those instincts surviving into the modern world. A warning signal from a brain designed for darkness. But maybe the deepest fear isn't supernatural at all. Maybe humans fear mirrors in darkness for another reason. Because mirrors force us to confront something we spend our whole lives avoiding: ourselves. During the day, your brain is distracted. Noise, people, phones, movement. But late at night, alone in darkness, staring silently into your own eyes, something changes. For a few moments, there are no distractions left.
Only you. And the human mind was never meant to sit comfortably with itself for too long. That's why silence feels heavy at night. That's why darkness changes thoughts. And that's why mirrors become unsettling. Not because something is inside them, but because deep down you realize the reflection staring back at you is the same person who knows all your fears, all your memories, all the things you try not to think about. And sometimes that's far more terrifying than ghosts. So tonight, when the lights are off and you accidentally catch your reflection in the mirror, pay attention to the feeling you get, that strange discomfort, that instinct to look away. Because for thousands of years, humans feared mirrors after dark. And maybe some ancient part of your brain still remembers why. So before you sleep tonight, try staring into a mirror in complete darkness. Just don't do it for too long.